Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Thursday, April 25th, and we are here trying to help you make better financial decisions. We do that by encouraging you to go to our website, jillonmoney.com, and clicking the Contact Us button whenever an issue arises. And that issue can be your real life. It can be changing jobs. It can be downsizing, upsizing. It could be a birth, a death, a divorce, all those life events that always will trigger some sort of financial decision. And if you just need some calming down, maybe you're a little anxious about something, go there to jillonmoney.com and we'd be delighted to help you out. Now, don't forget, while you're on the website, there's so much stuff to do. You can sign up for the free weekly newsletter. It comes out every Friday. You can check out our YouTube show called Jill on Money, powered by The Compound. If you also have a few bucks that are available, subscribe to Jill on Money Live. That is a service where you have access to quarterly live webinars and bonus video content, all for $35 for the next 12 months. Kind of cool. All right, let's do some emails. This is from Jerry, who writes, oh boy, here we go. It's a big subject. It's the executor of a trust. And here is the issue. My wife is the executor of the family trust. Both parents passed away. Mother 11 months ago, which is in 2023, father in 2024. Combined income from the Social Security was below 30 grand. His Social Security was just 2 months of 24. House was paid for years, sold in 2023. Father had VA benefits, and there was some interest income. He was a great record keeper, except they can't find documentation about whether or not they filed taxes in 2022. So we're assuming he did not have to pay. I wouldn't assume that. You still have to file. He filed for a property tax refund. He did receive that. And they can't find any documentation for 2023. Okay, here are the questions. Do they have to file a state and federal tax return? If so, how do you find out if he filed, and how do you get to the 2023 1099 Social Security statement? 2, we were told to close out the estate before the end of the year to avoid higher estate taxes. 3, do we have to file a return on the estate even though the total of the estate is under 270 grand? Here's the deal, Jerry. You need a lawyer, okay? You cannot do this yourself. The lawyer will guide you about your state rules. My guess is that you're going to have to file something. And even if you're under the estate tax minimum, you still have to actually go through a probate process, and the state has to give you the official, yeah, this estate is closed. So, Jerry, number one thing, you need to get a lawyer to walk you through this process, okay? All right, this is from Kim, who writes, Dear Jill and Mark, I love your podcast and your books. I've learned so much from you both over the last couple of years. My question concerns a 529 account. We moved from Virginia, which has an amazing 529 program, to the state of Indiana. We've created 529 plans for 2 of our 4 children here in Indiana to take advantage of the tax benefits. However, we still have our old Virginia 529s. The fees are higher in our new state. Doesn't seem like a lot. We only have 15 grand in each child's Virginia 529, but I wonder if we should roll over our old accounts or just leave them be. I would roll them over. It is not, and maybe it's not a lot in terms of fee, but I'll tell you what it is. It's easier to manage, and I'm into ease. Ease is good. This is from Roger. I've got 2 CDs at New York Community Bank, which of late has needed an infusion of money to stay afloat. I understand the money I have invested in the CDs is FDIC protected. However, should the bank go under, would the bank be allowed to give me only a percentage of my investment? As long as it's below the FDIC limit, then there is no problem. And if it's above it, I still probably think there's not a big problem, because there's no way they're letting New York Community Bank go broke after they bailed out Silicon Valley Bank. But if you're really nervous, if you're above the FDIC limit, when one of those CDs comes due, you can roll it over and put it into a different bank. I like being under the limit, though. All right, this is from Alice. Subject: heavy on cash while waiting to build dream home. Jill and Mark, I found your podcast about 1.5 years ago, and I've been an avid listener ever since. Well, thank you, Alice. We've saved up a bunch of cash for an eventual home build. Finding land we love has been the piece that's kept us from moving forward just yet. We're working with a great custom builder, and our current homework is pricing out the must-haves. They're expecting to spend, $700,000 to $850,000 on the new house, which includes the land, within the next 2 to 5 years. We are far from quick decision makers. We're going to hold out for the near perfect lot new home build because this is our dream house. We live in the Midwest. I'm 42. I have about 2.5 years of extra income. It's coming to an end soon. And I'll have a lump sum of about $25,000 after taxes coming in the next month. My partner is 42, receives Social Security disability income of around $1,500 a month. I make about $125,000 a year, though this year it's going to jump to $200,000. We file taxes separately. We're not married, no kids. Current home worth $400,000. Outstanding mortgage balance of $125,000. Okay. We have paid off all the debt except the mortgage. I maxed out my 401k and backdoor Roth IRA in 22 and 23 and front-loaded most of my 401k in the first quarter of this year to continue a modest contribution in order to get my employer match and max out for 2024. The 2024 backdoor Roth is also accounted for. My retirement accounts have $185,000 pre-tax, 10 in Roth, 25 in a Roth IRA, $52,000 in a taxable brokerage account. I'll likely pick up more work in the next 6 to 12 months, but my savings rate is probably going to slow down. He does not have retirement savings in order to maintain his Medicaid coverage. Our current expense is $62,000 a year. The new house would bump our expenses up to $75 or $80,000 a year. My Social Security at full retirement age is projected to be $3,200 a month or $4,000 at age 70. No pension. Sad face. We've saved over $475,000 that's sitting in high yield savings accounts and CDs. We're flexible on how much of that to put down toward the house. I also have $30,000 in I-bonds. My concern is having too much cash in high yield savings because rates are going to go down later this year. It feels like too much cash compared to investments while we want to wait on finding land with an unknown timetable. All right. This is a long preamble to get to the question. Should I invest all or part of the $25,000 that's coming in or put it into a CD? Should I do a CD ladder across 5 years with most of the savings that are earmarked for the house or invest a portion of the cash? I don't love this house purchase. I got to be honest with you. It's a lot of money to tie up. And, you have money, but not a ton. You have somebody who's never going to earn money going forward except you. $80,000 a year in expenses. I don't know.
I'm just curious how they saved nearly $500,000.
I don't know, because if their expenses are $62,000 a year, maybe he was working.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of. Maybe there's something coming in from him. I don't know.
Well, the only thing coming in right now is SSDI. The question is whether the other money he had, in other words, was there money elsewhere that he had? I don't know. But they're 42 years old. They got a bunch of money. It's going to be a long life for her. I don't love this idea of the dream house, but if it sounds like you're kind of all in. So if that's the case, then I guess I would probably ladder up CDs 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And at least if you're going to have, let's see, how much is this house going to cost? We said $750, $800. She's not going to qualify for a mortgage on her own salary.
But is the thinking they're going to put down, like they got $475, they're going to put that down and then the proceeds from the house that they currently have?
I guess so. They're going to want to own the house outright, I guess. So I guess it's okay. I like that cash, man. I wish I could just put it to work and stay in the house, but dare I dance on their dream. So I'll tell you what, if you sell the house and you can then use that to add to the purchase of your new dream home, then I would at least have like $275 in the CDs, and then I would try to invest $200, and with the 25 that's coming in. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, it's such a big time frame here for the house. 2 to 5 years. So, if we're looking at 5 years, then I would put some of it to work.
Yeah, I just a little nervous with all that cash sitting around. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I'd love to know more about like where that money came from, what else is going on in terms of, are they just freaked out about having a mortgage? And is this disability going to mean that the partner's going to need like care in the future? In which case, I don't want all that money sucked into the house. There's all these follow-up questions. I'm such a pain. All right. Timothy writes, I had to reboot through a costly corporate bankruptcy about 20 years ago. I was pretty much wiped out. Had tried to follow the advice of someone, and he said more losers than winners. Okay, so here's what he has now. He's 68. He's got $500,000, and he wants to make 10% on his assets. More, of course, is better. No debt, own nothing, live aboard a boat in Seattle. No way we could buy a house in the area. Looking for advice on relatively secure investments. I listen to your radio program and often think that a lot of the callers who have millions and are pretty savvy on finance, there may be a lot of folks in my boat. Get it? Boat. Appreciate your thoughts. Timothy, you're not getting 10% on your money safe. You're not even going to get it risky. In fact, if I were looking at your investments right now, I'd like to know what we are hoping to accomplish with these investments. Are you pulling money out of this account? Are you still working? I don't know about what, like the other pieces of this, but if you're seeking 10% return, you are probably hoping for the best, but you better prepare for the worst, because that would mean you're like 100% in equities. You're going to be on a crazy ride. So I don't think you should try to get 10%. I think that the best that you could do is, over the next 10, 20, 30 years during your retirement, hopefully, that you would be making, 6%. That's what I would go for.
A lot of people, even some of the quote unquote experts, they plan using 10%.
That's
which is
crazy.
Nuts.
That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Not worth it. All right. This is from somebody who I'm going to just call Eminem, and says, I'm afraid to come on the show. I live in a tiny community. Okay. Here's a question. Eminem says, I'm close to 55 years old. I'm a single parent. I have been for 15 years. I was formerly in the legal field. 5 years ago, I changed my life and I went into teaching. 2.5 years ago, I moved to a rural area. My daughter will be graduating from high school this year and has a 529 with approximately $20,000 in it and an additional $18,000 from savings. I will not be contributing any additional funds to her education. She can apply for scholarships or work. I'm not co-signing ever. Her father won't be helping. Okay. Here are some numbers. $108,000 in brokerage, $23,000 cash, IRA, $239,000, a Roth, $93,000, a school pension, a 403B at school of $4,800, emergency fund, $3,000. I'm working on this. I took 2 big trips and reduce the amount. I contribute $400 to my brokerage, $100 to the emergency fund each month. I'm going to increase the amount to my emergency fund soon. Okay. I do not expect to be part of my district's pension system due to my age. If I retire in the district, I may only have 10 or 12 years in the system, and I'm told the calculation won't amount to much. The vesting period is 5 years. I've been in the district for 2. I hope to stay as long as possible, but at a minimum 5 to 6 years. Okay. I may move to a bigger city or district once my daughter graduates from college. I don't see my pay increasing in the rural district, but that will come with increased expenses, right? You move for more money, but of course the place you're moving to costs more. I do not plan to retire until age 67. If I ever do, I'll work as long as I'm able and I like doing my work. I make $45,000 a year. I'm scared that I made a bad career decision, but I love what I do. I work with at-risk teens. You know what, Eminem? I love this. You're in great shape, right?
And she loves what she does.
She loves what she does. So keep doing what you're doing, and don't worry about moving somewhere else. You love what you stay where you are. Stay where you are. You're putting money away. You'll get some money in terms of your pension. You know what? If you stay there for 10 or 12 years, so what? You're 55. What if you stay till you're 70? Maybe you'll have 15 years. Maybe you'll stay till you're 72. But you'll have pension, you'll have Social Security, and no, you did not make a mistake, and you're not going to be a bag lady. That was the end of the question. Will I be a bag lady? Mark, what's the answer? No to bag lady. We don't like that. I like that you like what you're doing. I think that's great. Really is. All right, gang, that is it. That is the program. You can subscribe to us on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your favorite podcast. Please leave us a rating and review wherever you listen. Everything we do lives on the JillOnMoney.com website. Just bookmark it. It's easier. Give us a holler if you've got a question, if you'd like to join us. All right, where are we, Mark? I don't have to do any business. Today's just a regular old outro. So please lift someone up, change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.